Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's been a couple days. It's been a couple days since I've gone live. It's 9:40 and it's way later than I normally do it. I've been sleeping in unintentionally / intentionally, unintentionally, because I've been setting my alarm for waking up early at 3 o'clock. Intentionally because when my alarm goes off, I say, fuck it, I'm tired and I need to rest. And so I give myself the chance to rest. Now, we're just going to do a little throwback. Not who I used to be, my biggest thing. Can you hear my kids whispering? It's like, guys, please be very, very quiet. If you go into my stories on Instagram and you watch my stories, you'll hear how loud they were. I just asked them to let me get this done. I bribed them. Not top parenting tip right there. Bribery. It works like a charm every single fucking time. Things not to do. Okay. What was I saying? I totally lost track. Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. I lost track of what I was saying. But how to navigate life when you're freaking out. Okay. I was talking about what I did in my stories and whatever, and I'm trying to figure it out. See, this is why I can't go on tangents. I shouldn't go on tangents. I should just stick to the point, because the second I go on tangent, my brain just it melts. The bribery didn't work. Okay. Decide what you want versus what you don't want is what I've written here. How to navigate life when you're freaking out. So yeah, decide what you want versus what you don't want. If you're freaking out, okay, so this is where the backstory comes from. If you watch my stories, I started to talk a little bit about the mandates, and some of the options, especially when it comes to school, for your kids. So it's been announced that they are approving, that Health Canada has approved the stabby stab for children 5 and up. And yeah. And yeah. So yesterday, if you've been watching my stories, you'll know where this is coming from. But basically, a few months ago, what the school district, my school district, announced in the summer was that they are considering making the thing mandatory for children, kindergarten and up, to attend school in the school district, just like all the other vaccines that are mandatory in order to attend public school in the school district. They were just going to lump it in with everything else. And there's a lot of people that are freaking out about it. So that's where it came from. And I did talk about a little bit about some options that you might have that you might have not considered. But we're not, if you want to know what the options are, you can message me. You can watch my stories and listen to me ramble 1 minute at a time. I will warn you, my Instagram stories was kind of messing up this morning, so it's going to be a little choppy. However, if you're freaking out about this right now, really the only thing that you can do is take a deep breath and not freak out. Take a deep breath and not freak out. How to navigate life when you're freaking out is, first, you have to stop freaking out. And first, you do have to decide what you want, right? So if you're unclear on what you want, you're probably not freaking out. If you are clear on what you want, then you know why you're freaking out. You know what you want already, right? But you have to be very, very clear on what you want and where your boundaries are. And it's okay if you hit a boundary, and that's totally fine. Some people are very against getting it, or very against having their children get it, until you hit a boundary. And then some people hit that tipping point and they say, well, I had to get it because I want this, right? And that's only for you to decide. That is only for you to decide. Nobody else gets to decide what that boundary is except for you. And nobody, no matter what they say, has the right to judge you for your decisions, because it is your decision and your decision alone. So whatever that boundary is, whatever your reasons are for getting it, do it. Absolutely, they are your own. But first, you have to know what that point is. And you might not know now. Right now, you might only know the foreseeable future, where you are right now, what your boundaries are currently. And if your boundaries are hard no, I'm not doing it, then that's where you are. But you have to know where that is. And you have to meditate. You don't have to meditate. You should meditate. You should journal. You should do something like that. You don't have to meditate, but you should do something that allows you to find peace and stillness within yourself, and you are not being influenced by other people, because this is your decision. This is your decision, and it is your life. And it is so easy right now to be influenced by other people, because Energies are running high, emotions are running high, people are very influential with their words, people have a lot of passion for whatever side of the argument they're on. It's easy to get caught up in that and not know who you are and what you want and what your boundaries are. So if you meditate, if you do some journaling, if you just sit with a topic and by yourself and figure out what it is that you truly believe, right now at least, then it's going to give you some clarity on how to actually navigate life. Because once you know what you want, it's just a matter of yes and no. It's just a matter of yes and no. Things are going to come at you. Decisions are going to have to be made. And all you do is you say, yes, I'm going to go with this decision, or no, I don't want to make that decision. I'm not going to do that. So yes, I'm going to do this, or no, I'm not going to do that. Yes, I'm going to do this, or no, I'm not going to do that. But you don't know. You can't make those decisions until you know what your core values are, until you know who you are and what you believe in. Right? If it's constantly bombardment of like, you know, this and this and this and this, and if you want your kids to go to public school, you have to get them vaccinated. You have to do it. It's really easy to just say, oh, well, if I want to do this, if I want my kids to have an education, I have to make this decision. No, you don't. You have to explore your options. So take a step back. Take a step back, take a deep breath and say, well, I really don't want to do this. So is there another way? Right? But if you listen, that's what I said in the stories too, in my stories too. If you're constantly being muddled, and if your perception of life is that this is the only way, then you're going to feel the pressure to do something that you don't want to do. But when you realize that the goal is to receive an education, there's different ways to do it. But you don't realize that until you take that step back and you say, is there another way? So, how do you navigate life when shit hits the fan? You meditate. You just calm your ass down, journal, figure out what you want, what you believe in, where your values lie. You can even talk to your friends if you want. You can talk to your friends, but the only thing I'm going to say about that is make sure that they are people that you trust won't influence your decision, because everybody has their own agenda, everybody has their own belief system, everybody has their own values, everybody believes what they want to believe based off their perception of life and what they've experienced, and that can impact you unknowingly. So if you have somebody that you know that you can trust, or if you have somebody that just acts as sort of like a sounding board that lets you get things off your chest, those are the people that you do want to talk to. Me, I prefer meditation. I've spent my entire life listening to other people, or having other people constantly chirping in my ear and persuading me, and then like bring on the whole empath thing, and like disaster. It's been a disaster when it comes to that shit. I prefer meditation. I don't want to talk to anybody but myself, because that's the only way I'm going to get clarity as to what I believe and as to what I actually want to do with my life and how I want to navigate everything that's going forward. But in the end, you're not going to be able to do it if you're freaking out. So stop freaking out, start meditating, journal, figure out what you want. And then as shit starts to come your way, say yes or no. Say yes or no. Do I want my kids to be vaccinated? No. Does that mean they're going to continue to go to public school in this school district if they force it? That's a no. For me, it's a no. I know what I want, and I know how aligned I am with what I want, and I know where my values stand, right? You just have to do the same for yourself. And again, your own personal decision. Your own personal decision. Always your own personal decision. If you hit that boundary and you say, well, these are decisions I can't make, I can't give up my job, I don't have a community I can lean into, I don't have all of anything. Like if every other option completely exhausted, and you're exhausted, and you say, I'm going to make the decision to make sure my kids can go to public school and get that education, that's your decision. That is your decision. I may not make the same decision as you, and that's okay. I'm not here to tell you to make my decision, because you're not me. Just like I'm not going to necessarily make the same decision as you, because I'm not you. You have to figure it out for yourself. So you need to go meditate, and you need to go journal, and you need to go figure your shit out. That's it. I know. I wish there was an easier way to do it. But once you know what you want, once you know who you are, once you know where your values stand and why you hold those values, once you do that self-exploration, I know. Can you even hear me? Can you even hear me? Once you know those things, your conviction becomes stronger, and people will not be able to persuade you. People will not be able to persuade you. And then all of these decisions that seem so hard to make, all of these things that you're freaking out about, they just become a lot easier to navigate, because you are staying true to you and your authentic self and everything that you hold near and dear to your heart. Okay, I'm gonna go. Clearly bribing my children to stay quiet didn't work. It worked for a little bit. They were quite good. Okay, have an amazing day. I'm gonna go work out. Okay, awkward sign off, because that's guaranteed, even if I like do a really good job not screwing up my video. I'll see you guys later, okay? Have a great day. Have an amazing day, and good luck today, and go settle your thoughts. Go settle your thoughts. Go settle your heart. Mostly your heart. Figure out your heart. Where does it sit? Where does it sit? And then just fuck the rest. Fuck the rest. Just make the next right decision after the next right decision after the next right decision, and stay true to you always. I gotta go. I gotta go end this.